Ashaba. Ashaba. May be seated. All right. Shalom alaikum. Shalom alaikum. Oh man, I was feeling tired this morning. But anyway, are you all back? You wake up back? All right. All right. So, today's lesson is what will it take to wake up the so-called black people? What will it take to wake up the so-called black people? I was watching something in YouTube one day. This guy said, people change in 4 different ways, and 4 different seasons. The first season is when they hurt enough that they're willing to change. The second is when they see they inspire to change. When they see enough that they inspire to change. It says when they learn enough that they want to change, and then when they received enough that they are able to change. I find this very important and meaningful. So, give me so you said you changed the verse now. Give me Deuteronomy 7 verse 6. The book of Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 6. Right.
Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6.
Read.
Thou art an holy people unto the Mosa thy power.
Mm-hmm.
The Mosa thy power had chosen thee to be special above the Mosa Shalakia. Thou art an holy people unto the Mosa thy power.
Mm-hmm.
The Lord thy power had chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
So the Most High says, you Israel, you're an holy people unto himself. He had chosen you to be a special people unto himself, above all the nations, everybody upon the face of the earth. So you, indeed, a special people unto the Most High. So keep that in mind. Now, give me Hosea 5, verse 15.
Can you please repeat the 4 things that make people repent? I like that.
Okay. The 4 things people change in 4 different seasons is when they hurt enough that they're willing to change. When they see enough that they inspire to. When they learn enough that they want to. And when they received enough that they are able to.
Come on. Like that.
Right. So, give me Hosea 5, verse 15.
Hosea chapter 5, verse 6.
Verse 15 now. Hosea 5, 15. I want you to be in your game today.
15.
Read on.
I will go and return to my place.
Uh-huh.
So they acknowledge the offense and seek my face in their affliction, they will seek me early.
So the Most High says, I will go and return to my place till they acknowledge their offense. And he says something very important. He says, in their affliction, they will seek me early. In their affliction, they will seek me early. And I want to tell you that our people, they're willing to change only when they are afflicted.
Come on.
This is the first thing. When our people get to be, when our people are experiencing affliction, that's when they think, man, I need to change my way. I need to repent. Remember 2010 during the earthquake in Haiti, right? What did you see? You know, people that used to do voodoo, right? They become Christian. They fasting. Everybody become a spiritual person.
Even the president will try to be fasting.
Because they are being afflicted, right? So, and the Most High said, the Most High knew something, that our people, we would not change unless we be enforced, unless we be oppressed, unless we be in. There must be a force mechanisms that force us to change, that take us out of our comfort zone, to make us think that now is the time to change. Now, give me Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 13.
Let me add some on that.
Go ahead.
You know, a lot of people may ask, why does the Most High put us through this, we his people? Right? I had a precept. I don't know if I can take it right quick.
Go ahead.
Proverbs 3. Hold on. Before you go on to the next one, it's on that same. Proverbs 3 and 6. Let me get that.
This isn't all that way.
No, not that. Hold on. I'll get it. Proverbs 3 verse 11. He say, my son, despise not the chastening of the Most High, neither be weary of his correction. For whom the Most High love, he correct, even as a father, the son in whom he delight. So, if the Most High love us, he has to correct us. The Most High don't correct the Chinese. He doesn't tell them don't eat a poop burger or don't eat live octopus. He doesn't tell the white man, listen, you know, you can't be selling drugs to the whole world and do all this wickedness that they do, right? He doesn't put them through pain, to affliction for them to change. But the Most High say, whom he loves, he correct. And as the minister brought out, sometimes that's the only way for you to get it. You have to be afflicted. Because I talked to the Minister O'Connor yesterday. He said San Francisco is getting ready to give black people $5 million for reparation. I say, listen, prophetically speaking, that doesn't make sense. Because the Most High do not want us to get any justice here for two reasons. One, because we're going to get comfortable in America. Two, we will love America. You understand? We love oppression, man. So this is why all nations that do wrong, they must allow some kind of reparation, but not us. Because this is our affliction for us to change. If it gets better, guess what? We don't need the Most High no more. Like that.
And our affliction, that's when we realize there's a power who exists. Give me Jeremiah 2 verse 13.
Jeremiah 2, verse 13.
Mm-hmm.
For my people have committed two evils.
Mm-hmm.
They have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters,
Mm-hmm.
and hewed them out cisterns, broken cisterns that can hold no water.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Right. You got a precept? Let's finish that and then you could give yours, okay? Read on.
Jeremiah 2, verse 13.
Read.
For my people have committed two evils. They have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters.
So the Most High says, my people have committed two evils. The first evils, they have what?
They have committed
What is the first evil?
the first evil, forsaken me, the fountain of living waters.
So they have forsaken the fountains of the living water. What is the fountain of living water does? What does a fountain do? It gives water, right? But what is water? Water is life. So you have forsaken the life. You have forsaken the person who can give you life, who can give you that eternal life. Because for you to be living, you need that living water to constantly keep you alive. But the Most High says, my people have committed two evils. The first evil is the fact that we forsake him. What is the second one? Read.
And hear them out broken cisterns that can hold no water.
So we went into broken cistern that cannot even hold no water. What does that mean? Serving other gods. We forsaken him, and then we go into other broken cistern that cannot give us no living water. No life. So how do you expect to live if you forsaken the person who in charge of your life? The person who is responsible for your existence.
Also, the Bible says we forsake the fountain of living water and go for cracked cisterns. Things that cannot hold no weight, that cannot bring our people back to a state of governance. So when the Bible says to bring us to life, it's talking about to bring us back to being a people, a self-sufficient people. Have white Jesus given us life? Right? Have being a Muslim give us black people life? Have any of them bring us back to governance? That self-sustain? Right? Have we been able to sustain ourselves under this system? No. The only thing, all our money go to strangers because these are strange gods. On Sunday, you give that money. On Monday, white investors take over your community with the money you invest in the church. Right? So that's what it's talking about with broken cistern. What mean? Every money we spend in that cistern, it goes another way. It's not staying for us to use it. Think about it. You have a cistern, right? You're putting water in there for us to use it, but slowly the water is going another way. It's going somewhere else.
Like a pocket with a hole on it.
Yeah. So that's what the Christianity is, a broken cistern.
Right.
The money of Christianity don't serve black community. It's going white banks to serve white people. Right? The money of black people don't serve black people. It's going Muslim banks to serve Muslim. That's why they're so rich. It's a broken system. Even our community, our stores don't serve us. We put money into their stores and it goes right in their community. See, this is, but why is that we trust in broken cistern? We trust in their gods that they give us. And their gods make it normal for us to invest in their business while we're not even seeing that they're mistreating us on top of it. When we go to the Arab store in the hood, they don't even have no respect for our people.
That's right.
Broken cistern.
Right. But hold that piece. Go back to Hosea 5:15 again. I want you guys to hear something. So remember, the Most High says we got two evil that we have committed against him. First, we forsake him. The one who can give us that life that we want. The life that we're looking from our enemies for so long. That life, he's the one that can give us. We forsake him for that. Read what he says. Hosea 5:15.
Hosea 5:15.
Read.
I will go and return to my place till they acknowledge their offense and seek my face in their affliction. They will seek me early. So the Most High says, the fact that you forsake me. So the Most High said, the fact that you forsake me, you forsake the living water. So therefore, guess what you're going to do? You will never have you will never live a peaceful life. You will always be afflicted. You will always be afflicted because you forsake the person who can give you that life that you're looking for. Now, give me Jeremiah chapter 42 and verse 21 to 22. Jeremiah 40. Oh, yeah. What's the precept? Isaiah 48 verse 10.
40 or 48?
48.
Isaiah 48, verse 10. You can read. They say they can't hear you well, but let me see. Mic 1, 2, 3.
Check 1, 2, check. Come close to it.
Check 1, 2. You gotta put the mic close to you. All right, go ahead.
Or use that one. All right. Isaiah 48, verse 10. Behold, I have refined thee, but not with silver. I have chosen thee in the furnace of affliction. For my own sake, even for my own sake, will I do it, for how should my name be polluted, and I will not give glory unto another. Right.
Right. But the reason why we have to go through that, because just like we read on Jeremiah 42, verse 13, the Most High says, because we what? Forsake the living waters. So the only way the Most High can recover us back, recover that gold, as you mentioned, that's mentioned in that verse, is by putting you through the affliction.
Refine as the
to
keyword.
refine you. Thank you.
Making
to
you
refine
fine.
you. Right. as that pure gold again for him to receive you. Because you have to go to that fire for that pure gold to come out. And the Most High says, because you forsake the living waters. Right? Give me Jeremiah 42, verse 21 to 22. Jeremiah chapter 42, verse 21 to 22. Read.
Jeremiah 42, verse 21 to 22. And now I have this day declared it to you. But ye have obeyed the voice of the Most High, your power, nor any things for the which ye had sent me unto you. Now therefore, know certainly that you shall die by the sword, by the famine, and by the pestilence in the place whither you desire to go into sojourn.
So the Most High says, and now, read that again for me, man. Read that again. I want to feel the spirit.
Jeremiah 42, verse 21 to 22.
Read.
And now I have this day declared it to you. But ye have not obeyed the voice of the Most High, your power.
So the Most High said, have declared unto you, you have not listened to me. Read.
Nor anything for the which he had sent me unto you. Now therefore know certainly that you shall die by the sword, by the famine, and by the pestilence in the place whither ye desire to go into sojourn.
So so Jeremiah said, the Most High have sent me unto you. You have not listened to his voice for anything that I've told you. So the Most High, so Jeremiah told them, to the people, you're gonna die by famine, by the sword, by the famine, and by the pestilence in the place wherever you may go, because we refuse to hearken to the voice of the Lord. When the Most High says, you gotta serve me, you said, no, I don't gotta serve you, because Egypt was better than the wilderness, right? So I ain't gotta serve you. But the Most High says, I'm gonna kill you. You're gonna die by the pestilence, by the sword. You think that you're gonna have a better life by serving the other people instead of coming to me and follow my ways. Then this is what's gonna come to you. You're gonna be oppressed. You're gonna be afflicted, because that you're gonna learn because you're rebellious.
You see all this disease. You see how we got cancer, all kind of diseases we getting these days.
But that's because we refuse to listen to the Mosa. You got a question? Right. In other words, as we have the title, as the title says, what will it take to wake up the so-called black people? Because our people, we so hard-headed since the beginning, man. So the most I already understood that. For him to really recover these people, he has to make them go through the the worst. Because we so rebellious, man. No matter what the Most High do, the Most High could give us anything, but we still decide to. As soon as we start going through a little pain, we forget that He's the Most High who was in charge, who used to save us, who took us out from the oppression, right? Because we are a rebellious people. We do not listen. Only when we're in affliction, that's when we know, okay, now I have to go back to the Most High. Now, give me Ezekiel chapter 2, verse 3. 3 to 7. 3 to 7. Ezekiel 2, verse 3 to 7. Ezekiel 2, verse 3 to 7. Because our people, for them to repent, for them to come to the Most High, they have to hurt enough. They have to hurt enough to feel the pain, to know that, oh, is the Most High is the living water who can save them. The Most High is the only power who can save them. Read on.
Ezekiel chapter 2, verse 3 to 7.
Mm-hmm.
And he said unto me, Son of man,
Mm-hmm.
I send thee to the children of Israel, to a rebellious nation.
To who?
To a rebellious nation that had rebelled against me. They and their fathers have transgressed against me, even unto this day.
So,
unto this very day.
So the Most High says to Ezekiel, Ezekiel said, I send you to a rebellious people. I already know who I'm sending you to. The rebellious people, people that will not hearken unto my voice. I knew them since the beginning. What's going on, guys? I think I'm losing my classes right now. Are you guys with me? So the Most High says, I'm sending you to a rebellious people, to a rebellious nation that hath rebelled against me. Their fathers have transgressed against me even unto this very day. Since the beginning, we've been rebelled against the Most High. Read on, verse 4.
Verse 4. For they are impudent children and stiff-hearted. I do send thee unto them, and thou shalt say unto them, Thus said the Most High. And whether they will hear or whether they will forbear.
So I'm going to send you to him, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear. Whether they would listen or not. You got to tell them. Read.
For they are a rebellious house.
For they are a rebellious house. Read.
Yet shall now that there had been a prophet among them. And thou, son of man, be not afraid of them. Neither be afraid of the words. Through briars and thorns be with thee, and thou dost dwell among scorpions. Be not afraid of the words, nor be dismayed at their looks. Thou they are be a rebellious house.
So the Most High telling Ezekiel, don't be afraid of them. Don't be afraid of their faces, because they are a rebellious people. Read verse 7.
Verse 7. And thou shalt speak my words unto them, whether they will bear, whether they will hear, or whether they will forbear, for they are most rebellious.
So the Most High says, we are the most rebellious people. So let me ask you a question. As a rebellious people, do you think if the Most High bless us on America that we will remember him?
Lo and behold.
We don't even have nothing in America, right? Just a piece of bread, right? We're working every day, never have time for our families. Cannot even spend even time for our own self, right? Serving in other nation, we don't remember that the Most High exists. Do you think if he bless us now, when we can drive a nice car, right? We're going to remember there's a God exists? So the Most High have to pass us through the fire. He had to make us go through the affliction. Because when we're in pain, that's when we have to figure out, okay, man, I cannot stay in that pain. I cannot stay in that state of mind. I have to change my ways. What is the problem? That's when we begin to think and say, you know what? I got to change my ways. What am I doing wrong? Because if you're feeling good every day, you stay in your comfort zone, you won't think to know what you're doing wrong. Whether if you're serving the Most High, if you put in the Most High first in your life or not. Whether if you give him the honor he deserves for giving you the oxygen, the life, for making you still living today. You won't think about that because all you're going to think about is about, okay, I got a good car, I got a good house, you know, I got my wife, my kids. It's all about enjoying. But you forget to even thank him for giving you what you have. So that's why the Most High, we can try our best. We will never become a nation here in America because first of all, the Most High then put us here to become a nation. The Most High want us to have our own government. So we will never be something here in America as a nation. So the Most High has to put us to the fire so he can bring us back home when we realize that, okay, we have forsaken the only power who is our salvation. Now, give me
let me say this. It's a deep problem. Because our people, even for them, a lot of them, let's not say most, a lot of our people I know, a lot of them won't even get a job until it's really pressing. You know, and when they get some money, they quit their job.
wow.
You know, I know a lot of our people, you know, they just get a job just to survive. And as soon as they get paid, they quit. They're not about working. But that's the attitude of Israel. We don't want to seek good for ourselves until it's pressing. Right? until we don't care about a nation, a people. We don't care about, you know, providing good school for our kids. We don't care about each other until a cop shoot one of us.
We like the pressure.
Until a cop go ahead and shoot. Now we no justice, no peace. But when the brother's smoking cigarettes and killing himself, we never care enough to say, brother, listen, you need to change that. When the children are fighting, bullying, and doing all these wicked things, right? We don't care until it leads to something worse. Then all of a sudden, we raise them kids as hooligans. Then when they get shot by the police, then guess what? They were innocent babies, man. See? A lot of these kids, man, we're in America and the system that already hates our guts. We don't even teach our children how to behave, man. When they go out there, you know, a lot of time even the police stop these people. Our people, man, the moment the police stop us, we want to come out. We don't want to follow orders. We don't teach our children to follow order in their house, right? Then when they meet the police, they don't even know how to behave. They want to fight the police. What you think gonna happen? You understand? So then we're gonna protest and things like that. But we need to tackle the problem at its roots, and we need to tackle it before it's too late, not when it's pressing. But we always wait till it's late. Right now, I always ask myself that question. I say, what would we do if white people would want to put us back in the cotton field? Now, you might think, oh, that's ridiculous. Is it? Back then, they only had weapons that could shoot one bullet at a time. And they were able to enslave a whole people. But now they got all kind of madness.
I was just thinking about that right now, man.
No, but what we're talking about a whole nation, all right? it's not what I'm saying. As a nation, we need to start thinking. Like I'm talking about the other nation. Whenever something happens to them, they take precautionary measures to make sure it doesn't happen again. You understand? What have we done since slavery time to make sure we no longer be slave to another people? You understand? Nobody cares until it actually happened. Now it's unimaginable that it's gonna happen. But what if it does? Then that's the question today. What will it take to rise us up? What will it take?
Reaction.
Is it that we gotta go back to slavery again to wake us up? Because the only time we black people seem to wanna fight is when we finally in the shackles. Then now we wanna be free. But if we got that little freedom, we don't ensure we keep it.
Yeah.
The most I give up on you.
As I said, man, the Most High says this is the most rebellious people, man. Right. Absolutely. So that's what we're saying, man. So it's gonna take a lot. That's what, you know, when you see our people going through stuff, don't always say, man, why does our people going through? Because sometimes they have to go through it. The Most High have to make them go through the fire for them to realize that, listen, I'm the one you should be looking into. I'm the one you should look up to, not them. Because what the Most High says, he is a jealous power, right? He is a jealous power. Just like men. We would be jealous if we see our wives with another man, in the hands of another man. Right? Some will kill. I would. Sorry. but some would kill if they see their wife in another hands, right? But what do you think about the Most High? The Most High says, Israel is mine. But we are the most rebellious. We refuse. We forsake him. Even whatever he call us from time to times, all the times, we never come back to him. But the Most High said, the only way I can get your attention is if I have to make you go through problems, to tribulation, to oppression. You're going to have to be oppressed for you to hear me, to get to listen to what I had to say. Understand? So, what will it take to work our people is when you see our people going through the fire, don't say, man, our people going through that. It's about finding a way. Why are we going through that? So we got to come back to the Most High. This is the time for us to come back to the Most High. As the Most High says, in our affliction, that's when we seek him early. When we being oppressed, when we being afflicted, that's the only time we remember that the Most High exists. So he has to put us through the fire, man. If you're suffering right now, just know that because of us being rebellious to him. Because if we weren't, then we would never be in that state. Because he would always protect us, as he always said. He never forsakes his children. But we have to realize that we have caused enough offense against the Most High. We have to come back to him. We have to acknowledge that.
Let me get that precept right quick. Isaiah 62 verse 1 say, for Zion's sake will I not hold my peace. And for Jerusalem's sake I will not rest until the righteousness thereof go forth as brightness, and the salvation thereof as lamp that burneth. So the Most High said, I'm going to take no break, no time out. I'm going to whoop you till I bring that light forth out of you. Okay, I'm not, no time out for me.
Trust me, man.
And he's taking no time out. Since the time we left Jerusalem, man.
Right, you see, something always happens.
Always.
And every time something happens, it brings us closer. Every time something happened, it brings us closer because the Most High have to go through that process with us. And he's, as he said, he will not rest until
That light shine forth.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So
There's no stopping this, man.
don't think it's gonna get any easier for you.
There's no way out.
Right.
We signed a contract, and the Most High intend that you keep it,
Yep.
and you will keep it.
So you have no if you make a vow, you have no pleasure in, with fools. What precept was that again?
It's
Right.
better you sell your soul to the devil. Maybe the Most High will save you. Well, who's gonna save you from the Most High?
No one.
Because our parents already signed for us when we look in Deuteronomy. They say the contract we made in Deuteronomy 29, it says we made it with you and with your children that are not here today.
Right.
So we have a contract, an outstanding contract.
And the
You
funny
understand?
thing,
And don't say it has nothing to do with all Israel. Well, your parents signed your life to the Most High already.
The Most High own you, man.
It's either you come back, you die. There's no way out. What you got?
that's it.
That's a good point he brought out. Mashiach say, I do not accuse you in front of the Father. He says the law.
The law.
It's Moses that accused you. Because Moses gave the contract. You understand? Moses represent that outstanding debt that you need to keep. You need to keep that covenant. There's no way out for Israel.
It's the evidence
Right.
that you have signed the contract.
It's not a Mashiach. He's not going to judge you. It's Moses.
Trust me, man. You're gonna go through it. You think that you can escape him? You will not escape him. You see, when he took us out from Egypt, bring us to the wilderness, 40 years, refining us to make us the perfect people that he wanted us to be. And we think we can escape him after all that work he's done on us. You're not escaping it. Now, give me Exodus chapter 3, verse 7 to 10. Exodus chapter 3, verse 7 to 10. Mm-hmm.
And I read.
Read on.
And the Most High said, I have surely seen the affliction of my people which are in Egypt, and have heard the cry by reason of the taskmaster, for I know their sorrow. Verse 8. And I'm come down to deliver them out of the hand of the Egyptian, and to bring them out of that land unto a good land, and unto a land flowing with milk and honey, unto the place of the Canaanites and the Hittites and the Amorites and the Perizzites and the Hivites and the Jebusites.
Oh, you can stop right there. What do you see here? The Most High said, I have heard their affliction. You see when he come up to us? That's what I said at the beginning. Affliction is one of the catalysts that the Most High used to force us to realize, okay, I'm here. For the change to happen. So, you see when the Most High pop up, when he hear the cry. Read that again, the first verse, verse 7.
Verse 7.
Uh-huh.
And the Most High said, I have surely seen the affliction of my people, which are in Egypt, and have heard the cry by reason.
Stop right there. Stop right there. What did I say? The four things that make people change. First is when they hurt enough that they're willing to change. Right? And when they see enough, they inspire to. And the third is when they learn enough that they want to, and when they receive enough that they are able to. Right? So at this point, they experiencing, they are hurt right now. They are afflicted. That they remember there's a power exists. They calling on the name of the Mosa. The Mosa say, I heard them. Now I can come down and help them. Now, there God. Mm-hmm.
So they get terrified because they saw the World War III was about to break out at any moment.
Mm-hmm.
That's when they start looking for the presence of the Most High. All people is either when, like you were saying, like when they're in pain,
Mm-hmm.
they're terrified.
Absolutely.
They start looking for the Most High.
But it's crazy, man. Like whenever something happen in the world, like black people start looking for the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
And they start coming to congregation, man. Listen, bro, it's serious. Listen,
That's what they think they're
but
gonna die.
why do we have like I don't know, man. We really need to fast for our people, man. Why do we have to be like that, though? Why do we have to wait till something happens to want to build a nation? You understand? To actually put together and change our lives, set a future for our children. Yeah, we don't have to wait for that, and we know the right path because when there's affliction, we know where to go.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
But all of a sudden, then if there's no affliction, relax, kids, it's nothing happening. Let me go back to smoking and destroying my temple,
What I used to
destroying
do.
my family.
Go ahead.
You're gonna see a lot of Edomites right now. They stock up on food. They have bunkers. They stock up on ammo, rifles, and everything. And they organize themselves, and they have kits for if they're injured, in case something happens, and they need to quickly organize themselves for them to survive. Our people will have all the opportunity. I don't care about that. And as soon as the first bomb goes off, they're like, what do we do? What do we do? They don't know what to do.
Oh, God help us.
That happened with the war in Ukraine. The African countries, for example, they could care less about their people. You'll see all the European countries start taking their citizens before the war started. And as soon as Russia started dropping bombs, all the heathens already, like all the Chinese, everybody already had all their people out. And then that was at the last minute, you see them Africans trying to go into those trains, and the white Ukrainians were like, get out. They were saving their own people. They weren't about to save black people. And then the media was crazy. They were like, why are they treating black people so much? Why don't you blame the government of those African countries, of those African people that could not care less about their citizens, knowing that war was about to break out at any time? So in other words, as a people, us, and them, even them Africans that do the same thing too, we tend to want to wait for the last minute before we take action.
That's when we take action. That's gonna lead us to the next thing. I'm glad you bring that point. Give me Psalms 119 verse 71. That's gonna lead us to the next thing. Psalms 119 verse 71. Read on.
Psalm 119, verse 71.
Read on.
It is good for me that I have been afflicted, that I might learn thy statutes.
So David said, it is good for me to be afflicted because in my affliction I learn your statutes better. You see how people,
It's
man?
Israel right
I'm
there.
telling you, man. So you have to wait to be afflicted for you to learn the Most High, who the Most High is. So you see what David said? Read that again. I want you guys to hear that.
Psalm 119, verse 71.
Read.
It is good for me that I have been afflicted.
It is good for me that I have been afflicted. So David says, I'm glad, Father, that you made me went through what I went through. So read on.
that I might learn thy statutes.
So now that I may learn your laws, your statutes, and commandments. Tell me, what kind of people in this earth who's like that?
That's how people. Trust. Trust.
Who's like that? Is there anybody like that than our people? As you were saying, always wait at the last minute when the bombs start heating up. That's when we say, man, where will we go now?
Yeah, well, what the brother brought out, I think the audience don't hear it, is that the African countries wait till last minute to get their citizen out between Russia and Ukraine. Right? Then after that, they cry racism.
Right.
In time of affliction, you think the white man gonna sit the boss in the name of racism?
Nah, they don't care.
And he's like, I don't wanna be racist, just get the boss so I can get killed by Russians.
Nah, get that out.
Right.
That's what they're going to tell you.
Good luck with that. But we wait till last minute. That's our people, man. It's like no prevention whatsoever.
No
You
plan.
understand? We don't see the bigger picture. It's like our vision don't go higher than our nose. You understand? It's like we living day to day until we drop dead.
You know, the reason, if we were a people who learn through experience, right? As they said, we are people that learn through experience. If we were wise enough, guess what? Our forefathers made the mistake. We should have learned from their mistake, right? But guess what? Our people said they got to experience what our forefathers went through for them to understand what the Most High really want from them. So therefore, the Most High said, you know what? I got to make you go through that. To teach you. Because you won't learn by somebody else's mistake. Right? But you got to go through it for you to understand. That leads us to the next. You wanted to say something?
Right, there's two ways to learn, as you bring out. One way is to actually pick up a book and learn, or learn from what somebody tells you, or experience it. By example, there's a guy that told him, hey man, listen, don't go to the military. He said, I'm going anyway, because I want to have my own experience. Then when he come out, he's missing a leg. Yeah, you're going to learn by experience, but you're going to come out missing something. Right? Or you can learn by what they teach you. So it's either way. Learn by experience or learn by the books or by other people's experience.
Right. So that's why the Most High understood these people so much. And the Most High says, I have to make them experience it. They have to lose something to appreciate me better. Like you said, he had to lose the leg for him to understand that, okay, I shouldn't go to war, to the military. Right? But this is our people. And now that leads us to the next thing. When they see enough, they inspire too. Now, with our nation, we need leaders that are fearless. What do I mean? Leaders who doesn't see himself and who is committed to ensure his life is for the people. What happens when the sheep doesn't have a shepherd? The sheep go astray, right? So we are a people, we are very rational. We need to see someone who can be caring enough, who doesn't regard no one but to perform true justice and equity. Someone who can perform, who knows, okay, my devotion is for my people, and I got to do whatever it takes to save them. Right. So, as we were saying, our people, the next thing that can help us really get us out of this condition is we need a leader. Back in the day, during the time of, what is it, the leader in Haiti that used to, the one that used to make them work SSS. During the time of Duvalier, right? You see, the fact that our people love affliction, sometimes they need you need you give them the food and you have the bell in your hand, you have to lead them. The rod of iron that you have to lead them. Because this is the type of people that the Most High is dealing with, that we are dealing with. Because remember, in the wilderness as well, most of the time, the Most High have to kill some of us for us to learn, listen, to get in line with what He wants us to do. So in other words, as there's many camps, many leaders who in charge in changing the peoples, it requires for you to be fearless, for you to lead these people. Because you cannot be so soft and think that you're going to change the minds of these people. If the Most High is saying that I got to make them go to affliction for them to listen to me, what do you think about you? And it requires patience. It requires for you to forget about yourself to care for them. That's what it means. You see, Hamashiach, what did Hamashiach have to do? He had to die to save us. Because it requires that sacrifice to save us as a people. Because we are a nation who will not repent for nothing. You have to do enough for them to see. Now I can serve a Mashiach. Now I can believe a Mashiach. What he was saying was true. A lot of people didn't believe a Mashiach when he was teaching the truth while he was alive. What happened when he died? Everybody become a prophet now because now they know that, oh, Hamashiach was the real prophet because he died, he wake up, now I can believe on him. Now I can follow him because he had to go through the fire for them to believe. We are the people of the Most High. This is our characters. This is who we are as a people. Mm-hmm.
They saw in Hamashiach something greater than themselves. Oftentimes, our people, we focus on ourselves. We don't see the end goal. We don't see the end. We can't think 10 years ahead. But those fishermen, for example, you have like Peter, poor men, follow Hamashiach wherever Hamashiach goes. And now, 2,000 years later, we're talking about those great men. And a lot of those men, they die horrible death because of this cause. But yet their name is sealed permanently through all the ages.
Right.
You know? So like you're saying, how do as a people we can see the end? We can build something, but not just thinking of today, but we can think of what it can be and what it will be.
And tomorrow. Just what I'm saying, brothers. As leaders, the path that we have chosen right now, don't think is an easy path. Because we're dealing with the fierceness people who are rebellious people that will not listen. If you said you're a leader, you want to lead these people, you just got to know. You're going to have to put yourself through the fire for them. Because until they see you in the fire, they see you burning, that's when they will know that you were trying to save them.
Let me give you an example of what you're saying in modern time. Fred Hampton was one of the leaders of the Black Panther Party. This man was so good at organizing, so good at motivating, and by the way, he's one of the men leading founder of what we call WIC today. You know, they're giving the black community. If you didn't know.
The food and the food at the school, right?
And he's the first one that actually started to give children in school food, like because the black community. So from that's why now we got nationwide they give food at school. Before that, they didn't give food. Right. But this man was such an outspoken brother, and he was so resourceful, actually really putting his feet down, doing a lot. People start really following him, that guy. And he became the #1 threat in America. And that's when the FBI entered his house and killed him while he was sleeping, shooting him dead, right, with his pregnant wife. I don't think the pregnant wife was dead, but they shot him while he was in bed next to his wife. You understand? That's what the FBI did. So, but one thing we can learn from this brother, he was doing enough for people to actually see he was doing enough. So for people to actually follow, they need to see, what are you doing as a leader? You know, do you just, say, we got Hamashiach Ba'Hashem Yahushua? Or do you actually start putting your feet down and actually do something that's enough to convince people to follow?
Right.
So this is where we need to head if we want our people to repent. Because it's not enough to teach people that they're Israelites, right? But once they start seeing the movement, that there's things, substance behind what you're doing. When they start seeing that you're taking care of children that are sick, you start, helping with hospital. They see the deeds. Some people will never be convinced by just your word. They need to see your action.
Your word is not enough,
right? Once they start seeing what you're doing, what you're building, and the consistency and the seriousness of what you do, then, some people are convinced by words, some people are convinced by actions. That's the whole point.
And other things too. People who are convinced by word, they do not stay. Because at some point they will lose motivation. But those who learn by the deeds that you do, it stays forever. It stays forever because you make you put a food point. Look at just like this guy. He had to sacrifice himself for them to see his vision, the vision that he had to feed the children at the school or the week thing, the program thing, right? He had to go through that. But us as leaders, guys, and this is why this lesson is very important. If we say we're trying to save this nation out of this condition, we can talk all day. But if we're not willing to really forget about ourselves and think about the people, we're not ready for this battle yet. You want me to read it? 1 Samuel 2, verse 3. We're not ready yet, man. Because saving this nation, saving these people, is going to cost your life. It's going to cost your life. Look at Amashiach. So if you said you're going to really trying to lead these people, you got to ask yourself, are you willing to lose your life for these people? Are you willing to do whatever it takes to save these people? Because it takes a lot. It's going to take a lot to bring them home. So what's the verse? Read 1 Samuel 2, verse 3. Read that. 2 verse 3. First Samuel 2 and 3. Read.
First Samuel chapter 2, verse 3. Talk no more so exceeding proudly. Let not arrogance come out of your mouth. For the Most High is a power of knowledge, and by him action outweigh.
It said, by him action outweighed. Outweighed. Right, absolutely. This is very important, brothers. For those who leaders, start from me. Looking at yourself, ask yourself that question. Are you really saying you're a leader or you are a leader? Because, I can tell you right now, this path is not an easy path. The Mashiach never said this path was an easy path. He said, if you're willing to serve, if you love your soul, you're going to lose it. Right? If you're willing to save yourself, you're going to lose it. But if you're willing to lose yourself for him, you're going to gain it. What does that mean? You're going to have to willing to sacrifice yourself if you say you're a leader to save these people. Are you going to accept the complaining every day? When they come at you and complaining every day, then you say, man, this person don't know what I'm going through, right? You could be working indoor and outdoor. People don't know. But people are still saying, oh man, this guy is not working. Are you going to give up on them? Or are you going to continue to be consistent and doing the things because you see the end game of the battle that you're fighting? To save these people, brothers, it requires a lot. It's not saying that I'm a leader. As the minister was saying earlier, it requires for you to be consistent, to put the action, as the verse said, 1 Samuel 2 and 3. Don't just sit by mouth, but you got to put the actions. You know, to put these people, to save these people out of this misery, out of this captivity. Sometimes you have to lose sleep. Sometimes you have to not spending time with your own family to save these people. Because that's the work that you chose. You cannot choose this path and just feel like everything gonna have to go, think that everything gonna go well for you. And you gotta keep that in mind. I see you have the mic on. Give me Proverbs chapter 29, verse 18. Proverbs 29, verse 18. Just like the chief was saying earlier, when during the war of Ukraine, the European, they thinking for their people, putting them in places so that they won't get hurt. But guess what? You got the African nation. They wait at the last minute to try to, oh man, where should I go now? Where can I go now? Because they don't have no leader.
Right. I mean, you know, all these things happen, you know, that we as a community, as GYC community, we learn as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Let's not, by example, Katrina, when it happened, we were screaming for white people to come save us. But where's the black organizers were at? Did we have our own boats and prepare? Me, that's one of the things that, you know, we need more leaders with visions. You understand? That can actually have vision for the people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, consistent and visionaries. You see, it's not, we don't have to wait till something, to see a hurricane come. Then we run in, oh, we need this, we need that. Like, come on. Especially in our community, it's a lesson that we need to learn. That all the departments, all the ministries, that if you're in a department, that you have a vision and a plan. You understand? If you have that department, you need to, I think that's a lesson directly addressing to our community. Mm-hmm. What will it take for us to save black people? Mm-hmm. We need men with visions. You understand? Men that actually have the job and actually thinking about the job and actually innovating the job. You understand? I've seen this even, I'm going to bring that as self-criticism for our community. It's many times we've seen that. We're not going to go into detail because we got to talk more about this. Right? But it's oftentimes we see these things. You understand? Things that it's when things are happening, then we like, and sometimes we're not even on top of them. So that being said, we're not only seeing what happened to the Africans in Ukraine, but let's bring it home.
This is a self-lesson. This is a lesson that comes straight.
Right.
A
so
finger that comes straight out.
If you want to save, what will it take to save black people? That leaders as well need to take responsibility.
Right.
And take charge and do their part.
100%.
You understand? No slacking. Go ahead.
100%. Mm-hmm.
Right, you're looking at the world right now. You see the war in Ukraine. You see the Chinese are getting closer to bringing supplies to the Russians. So it's intensifying. And this at the same time, even Trump said he might be arrested as early as next week. At the same time, 4 banks have already collapsed last week. So imagine if this 4 last week has collapsed, right? So imagine next week, more banks start collapsing, Trump get arrested, creating more protests, war between United States and Russia and China. Anything can happen. Anything can happen in very soon. But yet, as a people, all we do is just relax. Like, ain't nothing going on.
Waiting for a real
when do we or when are we gonna have a plan, for example, to prepare ourselves to feed our children? And even before we can escape out of America if we have to. I'm just giving you an example. You would still need to have enough food, enough supplies, a plan at least to know what to do. But as you can see, our people sleeping. Nobody cares until something bad happens. Everybody trying to figure out what to do.
As I said, man, this lesson, all of you guys can learn from it. And change begin when you realize there is a change that needs to be done. You have to acknowledge that there is a problem at hand for you to fix it. Because you cannot fix a problem that you do not understand. Understand? So, when the Most High give us this lesson, it comes for us to at the same time to motivate us as leaders to know that okay, this work we have chosen, we gotta be straight about it. We gotta do whatever it takes. Because as a leader, you are responsible for the souls of the people.
I'm gonna give you an example. Russia, when they invaded, was that 2008 when they invaded Georgia? The European crew, they section Russia so bad, the rubble become actual rubble. And one day, Russia said, "I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to invade them." So Russia go back and say, I see. So they go and plan. So next time USA try to put sanction, not working. Sanction fail to load. Sanction, dang, sanction, dang, nothing is working on Russia. You know why? Because they learn from their past. And they say, you know what, we're gonna create Swift Bank. We're gonna create all that. Now they're playing chess with United States. United States now, because United States give them sanction, it doesn't work. Actually, it goes back on. That's why these banks are collapsing.
Yeah.
It's hurting the enemy now. Because the Russians are playing chess. They call that Russian roulette. Right. Give him
They had an ultimate weapon. The West had an ultimate weapon, which is something called SWIFT. SWIFT allows all countries to be able to do transaction with another country. So for you as a country to send money to another country, you have to have SWIFT. The whole world is connected to SWIFT. All the banks are connected to SWIFT. What they don't know is Russia was working on its own version called MIR. And they were working on it for 8 years. After that war in Georgia, when they attacked Georgia, America was like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Russia said, all right, never mind. So, but they prepared. And now that they cut them off from SWIFT, Cuba, Venezuela, a bunch of countries now are joining into the Russian system now. Russia no longer needs them. They prepared. And that's the thing with our people. We're not preparing for anything. But we have to learn. For example, what did we learn from Katrina? Did we learn something? Do we have a rescue mission?
That's as a collective.
But let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something. Read that verse for me. Read that verse for me. Proverbs 29, verse 18.
Proverbs chapter 29, verse 18.
Read.
Where there is no vision, the people perish.
Stop right there. It says, where there is no vision, the people perish. And that vision comes from the leader who's leading the people. As the minister was saying. If we, GYC, I'm not talking about other camps, I'm not talking about no one else. I'm pointing the fingers to us. If we, GYC leaders, doesn't have no vision for the people, we only set them to destruction. This is what you got to understand. Whether if you was lazy yesterday, let us try to not be lazy tomorrow. Because if you said you're a leader for the people, you're responsible for their souls, guess what? You have to have a vision for them.
Come on.
You need to know where you're leading them. And you need to work on the vision that you have established for them. You need to have a destination of where you want to go with them. Without that, you might as well excuse yourself. Because the Most High are going to require their souls at your hand. No matter if you like it or not. And that goes for not only GYC, but all the leaders out there who's saying they are leaders teaching our people. Because the Most High already told us. We know what we're dealing with. It's not a problem that we don't know that we're dealing with the rebellious people. The question is to ask, what are you going to do to save them? Yeah. What are you going to do to get them out of that mental mindset?
Right. And also, when we're working as a team, whenever someone don't do their part, you're holding the whole team back. Mm-hmm. You see, this is a big thing. Everybody, you got to play. It's like a chain. If one of the little piece in the chain is not working, then the whole chain cannot work. And now the whole chain look like raggedy. So everybody, I think that's a wake-up call that everybody do your part, man. Think for your. It's like whenever you see things are not working, I always see that. It's because leader is not thinking. Nobody's sitting home and be, what should I do for that ministry? What should I do for that department? What's the plan for that department? It has to be, everybody has to be thinking. The members has to be thinking, the leaders have to be thinking. You understand? If we're not thinking, then that's where that verse is saying, where there's no vision, the people perish. The vision is what you're thinking. What can I do for this ministry? What can I do for my department? What can I do for what I'm responsible for? Then we're going to start moving. Everybody be responsible for yourself. You understand? Because he can be responsible for my stuff. I can be responsible. And if I don't do my part, I'm really jamming his will. Right? Because everything depends on each other doing our part for it to come out perfect.
Think of you said the engine is the most important things in the car, right? I bet you if the starter is bad, you cannot start the engine. Right?
Everybody do their part.
I had a 5 Series BMW, right? It's a great car. It looks so nice. When I watched this car looked brand new. That car stopped at my house for 1 month. You know the problem it had? Starter problem. Not the engine, starter problem. And as soon as I fixed the engine, the starter, the car started working. Guess what? Starting from the lowest one in the community to the leaders, we all play a part. For the system to work, it requires, as the brother was saying, it requires all of us to do our part. And this is a wake-up call. We have to continue to motivate each other. Listen, what is the vision? The vision is to save our people. How do we do that? Then we have to set up plans, the strategies on how to be able to save the people. Because the people will not be saved if we don't have a plan at hand. We need that, and everybody have to do their part, in other words. So, now, give me the last one. Not the last verse, but I'm almost done. But give me Jeremiah 8, verse 21. Jeremiah 8, verse 21.
Jeremiah 8:21.
Read on.
For the hurt of the daughter of my people, am I hurt?
Stop right there. Jeremiah says, for the hurt of the daughter of my people am I hurt. And as a leader, you got to be hurt for your people. You cannot feeling good every day. You got to be hurt for your people. And if you say you care for your people, you got to be hurt. Read on.
I am black. Astonishment had taken hold on me.
Now,
Let me read the next one.
read verse 20.
Is there no balm in Gilead? Is there no physician there? Why then is not the health of the daughter of my people recovered?
What is the job of a physician? To heal, right? Is there no leader? Is there no physician to heal the people? Why is their health is not recovered, right? Why are they not being saved? Why our people cannot be saved? So the Most High holding us accountable as leaders, who's saying that we are leaders, then we need to do our job. We need to do what we're supposed
If
to
you
do.
go to a doctor, you can't be healed. The doctor is simply not good enough.
It's not a good doctor.
Huh?
That's all it is.
Simply not good enough. So just be mindful that, that we're working in a way that we're good enough, as we say, for the people to see enough. You understand? To be resourceful enough. To get things done. Because at the end of let me tell you about something about leader. A leader is not one that can come, that have the right to complain, I can't do it. There's no, you see, a member can say, I can't do it. But you can't say that. People expect you to move heaven and earth to do it.
Yeah.
A leader don't expect, like, I can't do it because of this. Like, I always talk to my brothers. I always say, listen, I don't want to hear excuses. A leader you don't have that luxury for excuses. If you're a leader, you the end point. You the last hope.
Yeah.
There's no, I can't do it.
Everybody depend on you.
You just do it.
Whether it be
Find
good
your
or bad.
resources. Find whatever you got to do. Move heaven if you have to do it. So the question that a leader says, I can't do it, that means you're not fit for that position.
You're not able.
Then you need to bring someone that can do it. You understand? Because somebody will do it. There's some guy you can give 5 cents, $5, he can turn it into $1 million. Then let him do it. If you can't do the job, then let somebody else do it.
And earlier
You
you
understand?
spoke about humility. A leader has humility for you to know what you're capable of and to bring someone in. If you can lead the people, have somebody else do it. You understand?
Hebrews 10 verse 23, make it your profession. Once it becomes your profession, that's like you know about it, you live it, you will brave it. You will know each part of this job.
Improve
You will
yourself.
value it so much. People can see it through you. And now they will willing to actually follow you.
Right.
Because you make it your profession.
That'll lead my next point, brother. People doesn't follow someone that they can see themselves in them. I'm going to say that again. People cannot follow someone that they don't see themselves in them. A woman cannot be with a man if she don't see the future with that man. Am I right or wrong, sisters? Every woman, they will tell you, they will not be with a man if they cannot see their future in that man. And believe it or not, they could be with that man for 2 years or 5 years, but they still thinking about their future. They still thinking about, what is my destination? Where would I end? But think about it, us as leaders. If we said we want more people, if we said we need to save our people, we need to give the people a reason for them to trust and believe in us that we can lead them. Do you guys understand that? We need to give them a reason. Look at a Mashiach, right? Give me Matthew 15, verse 4, my brother. You guys remember the story of a Mashiach with the Samaritan woman at the well? Yeah. Give me Matthew 15, 4.
Matthew 15, verse 4.
14, not 4.
14, 4.
15, 14.
And I read, let them alone. There be blind leaders of the blind. And if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into the ditch.
Right. So if a leader who is incapable of leading a people, guess where they're going to lead them? Into the dish, right? So, you as a leader, you must be fit enough for you to lead the people. That's Matthew 15, verse 14. It says, if the blind lead the blind, they're going to fall into the same dish.
But one thing, like, let me tell you, one thing about leadership, you're not born perfect. You never say you was, right? But one characteristic about a leader, you need to always be improving. Always improving. You know your area of weakness, you're always reading. You're always learning. You see? Then that's how you become a great leader. You'll never find a leader that know everything, right? But the worst leader is one that refuses to improve, that refuses to learn, right? That refuses to take notes,
That stay in the static mode.
that refuses correction. You know, this lesson is correction, right? We're not printing fingers. Too often we put fingers at Christian, but that's not going to do nothing for us, right?
Right.
Remember, when you point one finger, there's four at you.
Let's go back at you. I like that.
So it's imperative. If we're gonna, as a lesson, what will it take to wake up our people? Well, for them to wake up, we're gonna need exceptional leaders, right? That actually putting the work in and out. And we've seen it in Israel. Some camps are actually putting the work, and we've seen how the people follow them.
Right.
You understand? It is that simple. Put in the work. Be brave, be serious, stop slacking, right? Be consistent, be resourceful, keep improving. Then you'll see the result.
And that was the second things of our change. When they see enough, they inspired to. People see that you're doing things and they inspired by your work. Okay? So the next thing on line is financial uplifting. Give me Ecclesiastes. I know all of you guys know that verse. Ecclesiastes 7 and verse 12. Let's go a little faster, guys. Ecclesiastes 7 and verse 12.
Ecclesiastes 7:12.
Read.
For wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense.
So wisdom is a defense. Having the wisdom, the knowledge, and understanding is a defense for you. But read. But if money, what he says about money?
And money is a defense.
Money is also a defense. Give me Proverbs 22 and 7.
Let me finish. But the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom gives life to them that have it.
So wisdom gives life to them that have it. Money is a defense. Wisdom is a defense. But the only difference between money and wisdom is that wisdom gives you life if you have it. Give me Proverbs 22 verse 7.
Proverbs 22 verse 7.
Read.
The rich rule over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender.
It says the rich rule over the poor, and the borrower is a servant to the lender. Can you save a people who is a servant to another people? You can, right? But how can you do that if you don't have the resources? Because for you to take the bread that they depend on, that the people they serving depend on, you got to provide another bread, a better bread, that they could take their mind from that bread and come to you, right? Give me John 4, verse 10 to 13. Give me a second.
There's some example I come across in this truth. There's brothers that was in the world. They come to the truth, they start changing, and then due to not finding a job, stuff like that, the job telling them they have to work, stuff like that, and they try not to take the job, and they keep getting fired. So
Right.
they quit, they just left.
But,
Because
right.
they don't serve. The struggle is really hard.
They don't have that faith enough yet to know to resist, right?
You also don't have the funds to help them too.
Yeah. But I'm gonna show you guys something that's gonna change out your mind.
John
John 4 verse 10.
John
to
4
13.
verse 10. Amashiach answered and said unto her,
Mhm.
If thou knewest the gift of the Most High, and who is that, and who it is that said to thee, Give me to drink, thou wouldest have asked of him, and he will have given thee living water.
So you see what Amashiach did here? Do you see what Amashiach did here? Amashiach was trying to convince that woman that the water you're drinking right now, it's not a good water. This is Zephyr water, right?
Careful with that.
No, I'm just kidding. But I got Nestle, which is better. Or I got
Well, they're trying to get us sued. We're not responsible for any damage.
Right. I just don't like it. That's all. That's my thing. But some people love it. So, but anyway, so Amashiach said, "You don't need your water because your water only lasts for just for a minute. But I have the living water. For Amashiach to take that water from that woman, so he needs to provide another water." So that woman can depend on the water that he is providing. Do you guys see the connection that I'm coming with? Now, I just went over a leader needs to have a vision. Here in GYC, or any organization, or any leaders, brothers, if we said we want people, we want to save the people's lives, you cannot tell me, you convince me to come into the truth. I used to depend on my bread to get my bread from somewhere else. But if I'm leaving those bread to come into you and I can't find no bread, you'll give me no reason for me to stay. Remember the 4 things that cause people to change. What are the 4 things? When they hurt enough that they're willing to change. When they inspired to. When they see enough, they inspired to. And when they learn enough, they want to. When they receive enough, that they are able to. So when these people see that you can provide for them, you can give them, then they are able to change. Because as leaders, we should have a backup plan. When we bring in people, that we know that we're going to bring people that are going through financial situation. Not only that we're giving them the word, but we're supporting them too on their daily bread. What Amashiach did on Matthew 14. Amashiach finished heal the people. He fed them. Am I right or wrong? That's a good example. Because just saying, brother, have faith. Faith cannot move mountains without action. You need to put some action on it. So we, brothers, we got a lot of work to do. And I'm telling you guys because if we really want to change these people, we got to be all in it. It cannot be half foot in and half foot out. You got to be all in it. Starting from the bottom to the top. Our financial situation got to be upright. Because our people cannot be saved. Because right now we depend on, let me tell you something. Most of us come from Haiti, right? A lot of us here, right? Do we come to America? Would you left Haiti if Haiti was in a good financial situation?
John members.
Right, but I'm saying that most people leave in Haiti right now or any other country to come to America because America has something to provide. But the thing is, we don't know what the Mosa has on us, or has for us. For these people to know that the Mosa has something in store for them, we need to convince them. And part of us convincing them is to show them that the Mosa, he is able. Because if you tell me God bless you and I cannot see the blessing that God bless you, then God don't bless you. You're not doing something right.
It's a fake blessing.
It's a fake blessing. If you say God bless you and you asking out there, you in the street asking, begging for bread, Psalm 37 verse 25 tell me that God never forsake his righteous.
For them to be begging for
For them to be begging for bread. So you're not doing something.
You're not blessed.
You're not blessed.
It's a sign that you're not blessed, that's for sure.
It
You're
is
cursed.
indeed a sign you're not blessed. Because everybody who's serving the Mosa
Shouldn't be begging.
should be blessed.
Shouldn't be begging for bread.
Shouldn't be begging for bread.
Exactly.
So if the manufacturer who is the Mosa, he manufacturing his product, he sell his product with full insurance that he has you covered. This is the product the Mosa is offering. We offering the product. We are the advertiser. We are advertising the product for the Mosa, right? But we gotta show the people that we advertising the product to that the manufacturer is the best manufacturer that can produce this
It's
product.
like when I meet some brothers, they say, man, I'm in this great company, man, we doing good. I'm like, where's your car? No, I ain't got no car, though. But eventually I'll make it. You know, like, listen, you're selling a product that don't do you no good.
I went to, there's this guy in Primerica. He was convinced. You sitting in there.
Okay,
I mean-
it's against our policy
Oh,
to mention
sorry.
companies.
Sorry. All right. No, it's a life insurance company, whatever. So this guy tried to convince me to join his company, right? And I said, "How much you make?" He said, $49,000 a year. And he's trying to tell me that I can make $1 million. This mathematical equation doesn't work for me. You understand? You trying to convince me that I can make $1 million, but you yourself, you haven't made a dime yet. So how do you expect me to live my daily life and for me to join you to become broke just like you? And with the hope that I can become a millionaire. Listen, I'm not saying this is a bad thing. You cannot join them. But listen, if you're offering a product, you got to be about the product. You got to show that this product that I'm selling is the best product in the market. To convince people to purchase it. So what am I saying, brothers? If we, as leaders, we're teaching these people, we say we want to save these people out of their condition. Listen, our financial situation got to be upright. Because there is a lot of kids out there who are sleeping in the street. We could save those kids' life by turning them away from that lifestyle. Because everything you do to people, people never forget things. Some do, but most people don't forget things you've done for them. If you change them from from a misery state of mind, they would remember that. Understand? They will pray for you, and that blessing will continue to come. But listen, you got to be about the product that you're selling. You got to know the product you're selling, and you got to be about it.
And you got to manifest in
You
your
got to
life.
be manifested. You understand?
In your life.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, you know, you can't be saying, man, I'm selling cars, but then you don't have a car.
You riding a bike.
Or I'm a dentist, you got no teeth.
Yeah, at least for some fake teeth.
How you gonna fix my teeth when you have no teeth?
Right. Oh, your teeth ain't looking right.
Right. I don't know, bro.
Understand? It's crooked, one like this, one in north side, one is on northbound, on the westbound. No, man. It ain't work like this. So, brothers and sisters, listen. Our people need help. They need physicians. Physicians who are willing to save them, to heal them. But those physicians have to learn enough, have to improve enough every day to have a vision, a final destination on where they want to place these people. Okay? And those physicians is us. Us as leaders, we're teaching the people. They come from a Christianity mindset, whereas, you know, it's take a hammer for you to beat their mind, for you to take those doctrines in their mind. When you turn them away from that mindset, right, you got to provide something for them. You got to show them that you have the best thing ever. And we do. Because we're serving the greatest power ever. Am I right or wrong? So, we need to make the changes for the Most High to bless us. Then we can offer the best product in the market. Come? Oh, time. Anyway. All right, so I'll leave it there. I'll leave one, but listen. To be continued. So, brothers and sisters, let us keep our heads up. Leaders, do your part. Members, do your part. If you're responsible for something, it's better that you don't responsible for it than for you to be responsible for it, then you're not doing anything about it. Just keep that in your mind. Let us improve, guys. This is not pointing fingers at anyone. I can fall short. But I expect you to remind me and let me know that, listen, you got work to do, my friend. You wanted to be in that position. You in that position. Then you got to be about it. You got to not only talk about it, but you got to be about it. Each one teach one. Come? So with that, I say shalom, brothers and sisters. For those who are online who was listening, may the Most High bless you and keep you. I hope you learned something today. Shalom.
I'm Adim Lapani Yaroshin. Let's stand and face Joseph. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Barakatah Hawa. Ba'ashem. Hamashiach. Yawoshai. Lanatananu. Wayom. Hashabat. Ba'shalom. Borak. Yisrael. Selak. Yisrael. Toda. Amen. All praise to you, Yahweh, for this beautiful lesson that you have sent us, a message, a reminder, constantly, O Most High, in your mercy, that you've always sent great messages to us that we should pick up on the slacks, that each one of us can understand that this is mission critical, and that, as the scriptures say, gather yourselves before the decree come forth. Before bad things happen, we need to gather together and plan and do all that we got to do. Because in the bad days, without a plan, no man shall make it. Pray that you put that spirit in us, O Most High. Change our mind as you continue to do it with these beautiful lessons. But let it sink in our inner parts that we may act on these things, not just say these things, but afterward that we may meditate and we make the changes necessary. We pray that you bless this community as you continue to do it, giving us the most essential things, which is the wisdom, that you continue to move us in the right direction. We give all praise to you, Yahweh, in all things, for these things that you have manifested among us. Let the Shabbat be blessed. Let everyone that attended be blessed. And let everyone that listened or will listen be blessed. Let GYC be under your guidance and protection. And we pray that you give us the wisdom, the strength, the zeal, and the compassion needed to move forward. We pray and ask all these things. And in the name of Mashiach Yahushua, Torah Tamyan, Amen. Shabbat Shalom Yisrael. Shabbat Shalom Yanu. Barak Hashem Yisrael. Hallelujah Hashem Yahweh. Shabbat Shalom, O Israel. Shabbat Shalom, Yaimo. Barak Hashem Israel. Hallelujah Hashem Yahweh. He Been a long time in a strange land where there is no love for the Hebrews. My enemies hate me without cause in this place. Oh yeah, I am ready to go back home. It's been a long time, it's been a long time in a strange land. Oh, yeah, where there is no love for the Hebrew. My enemies hate me, my enemies hate me without cause in this place. Oh yeah, I am ready to go back home. 400 years, 400 years of oppression. Oh, they treated dog, oh yeah, they treated dog better than us. But you say, the kingdom belongs to us. Oh yeah, I am ready to go back home. My enemies hate me, my enemies hate me without cause in this place. Oh yeah, I am ready to go back. Oh, my enemies kill me, my enemies kill me without cause in this place. Oh yeah, I am ready to go back home. Bring me to Zion. Oh yeah, I am ready to go back. Oh, I wanna see Zion again. Oh yeah, I am ready to go back home. I wanna see my own Zion. Oh yeah, I am ready to go back home. Oh, I wanna see Jerusalem. Oh yeah, I am ready to go back home. Oh, I wanna see the mountain top. Oh yeah, I am ready to go back home. Bring me to my home. Oh yeah, I am ready to go back home. Oh, my enemies hate me, my enemies hate me without cause in this place. Oh yeah, I am ready to go back home. I wanna see Jerusalem. Oh yeah, I am ready to go back home. Oh, I wanna see Mount Zion. Oh yeah, I am ready to go back home. Oh, I wanna see Jerusalem. Oh yeah, I am ready to go back home. Oh, I am ready, I am ready. Oh yeah, I am ready to go back home. Oh Yahweh, there are many who want to bring me down. Whoa, Yahweh, there are many who want to bring me down. Whoa, they're watching me. The hope is to no longer since I exist. Whoa, they're watching me. No longer since I exist, but you are my stronghold. Whoa, but you are my stronghold. Whoa, but you are my stronghold. Oh, but you are my stronghold. Our children blood I found in the street. Our children blood I found in the street. Oh, and that's a peace means it wasn't that hard to bring me to the ground. Oh, it wasn't that hard to bring me to the ground, but you are my soul. Amashongo. Yahweh, Yahweh, there are many who want to bring me down. Yahweh, Yahweh, there are many who want to bring me down. They're watching me, love is too long, as is I exist. No longer since I exist, but you are my Zungo. Oh, but you are my Zungo, destroy the enemy. Oh, but you are my Zungo, destroy the enemy. Oh, but you are my Zungo, destroy the enemy. Oh, but you are my Zungo, destroy the enemy. Oh, but you are my Zungo, destroy the enemy. Pharaoh can be on you, the seas and front of you, oh Israel. Yahweh is your strength. Oh, Yahweh is your strength. Yahweh is your strength. He did open up the sea. The wall is before you, the wall of Jericho, Israel. Yahweh is your strength. 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 You bring down the wall. The people is hungry. The people is crying in the wilderness. Yahweh is your strength. Yahweh is your strength. Yahweh is your strength. Oh, he gives them the windows. The people is crying. The people is thirsty in the wilderness. Yahweh is your strength. Yahweh is your strength. Yahweh is your strength. Yahweh is your strength. Oh, he gave water. Oh, Elohim of Elohim. He gave water from the rock. He's the God of Abraham. He gave water from the rock. He's the God of the 12 tribes. He's the God of Israel. He gave water from the rock. Oh, he gave water from the rock. Oh, he gave water from the rock. He gave water from the rock. He's the God of Israel. He's the God of Israel. He's the God of Abraham. He gave water from the rock. He gave water from the rock. Oh, he gave water from the rock. Oh, he gave water from the rock. He gave water. Oh, he's the God of Israel. He's the God of Levi. He's the God of Judah. He's the God of Benjamin. He's the God of Manasseh. He's the God of Joseph. He gave water from the rock. Oh, he gave water from the rock. He gave water from the rock. Yahweh is your strength. Yahweh is your strength. Yahweh is your strength. He gave water from the rock. Elohim of Elohim. He's the God of Judah. He's the God of Abraham. He's the God of Isaac. He's the God of Jacob. He gave water from the rock. Oh, he gave water from the rock. Oh, he gave water from the rock. Oh, he gave water from the rock. Hallelujah, all praise to the Most High, Hashem, Yahweh, David. We gotta make the Father happy, man. Make him send all his angels to dance with us in the Shabbat day, man. He gave water from the rock. Oh, he gave water from the rock. Oh, he gave water from the rock. Yahweh is your strength. Yahweh is your strength. strength. He give water from the rock. Oh, Elohim of Elohim.
He give water from the rock.
He's the God of Abraham. He's the God of Jacob. He give water from the rock. Oh, he give water from the rock. He give water from the rock. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. You know, the most I love praises, man. Whenever we praise like that, I bet he got his angels playing, man. Singing and dancing with us, man. All praises to Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, be blessed, Israel. Shabbat Shalom.